Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lauren if you're new here. If you're not new, you have seen the progression of my project pans. Hopefully, if not, that's okay because we are just embarking on this project pan. We are 1 month down into a 6-month project pan journey, and I wanted to give you an update on some of the items that I chose, what we're doing differently this time, and the get out of jail free card that I implemented during this project pan. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go through the products that I chose for this project pan, show you what they were, why I chose them, and I'm gonna tell you how many times I used them. I have a spreadsheet in front of me where I've been tracking every single time, more or less, that I've used one of these products, and I wanted to give you my opinion on them, if my opinion has changed, if I've gotten an opinion and I didn't have one before, and just overall the usage of these products. Now, one thing to note about this project pan is I chose these products a little differently than how I've chosen them in the past. In the past, it really used to be I wanted to choose products that I really had no idea whether I liked them, didn't like them, just didn't know, had no idea. And I really wanted to have a firm understanding of if I liked them or not by the time my project pan was over. And I really got to know quite a few products that I probably would have completely missed in my collection by doing project pans. And some I have ended up really liking and coming out of that project pan being like, I'm so happy to have rediscovered this product. And then some of them I decluttered because I was like, oh, I actually don't work well with this product. It needs to go. There's no place for it in my collection. I have a very large collection, so if I can't find a place for it, it's just not a good fit, which is okay. Not all makeup is for everyone, but there is definitely enough out there that I love. That's a good thing. I don't want to love everything. So let's get into this. Let me show you the products that I chose. When we get to the palettes, you're going to hear about the new rule that I implemented where I am choosing palettes and only using them for a month and then switching them out. So you're gonna get some insight into the new palettes that I chose. And yeah, let's just get into this. So the biggest difference in this project pan really is the fact that I decided I wanted to pull products that I actually wanted to pan. Again, like as I said previously, my previous iterations of project pan have really been about me testing out products to see how I feel about them. Not in this one, I wanna finish them. So this is a good example of one of those products. Now, this is from Dior. This is their Forever Glow Veil. This is one of the primers in my project pan. As you can see, there's a pretty decent dip in there, but it's in here not because I'm not sure how I feel about it. Clearly, the love is there. It really is, it's a great product, but I wanna finish it. I wanna get my money's worth. It's Dior, it's expensive. I want to use it up. So that is why this is in the project pan. I used this 14 times in July, so not a bad start. But it does seem that in all of my project pans, there's always one product that takes me a little while to use. And that is the other primer that I have in my project pan. That's from Moira. This is the Dream Canvas Vitamin Primer Balm. It looks like this. Now, I have tried primer balms before. It's one of those things where it either I love it or I hate it. Some of them are pretty good. The one from Taupe is really good. And some of them just don't work well with my skin. I have really dry skin. So sometimes balms just aren't the best. They don't always melt into my skin. The Taupe did, the Taupe was good. I have not used this. So this is my luckily only fail so far in my project pan. I will. I don't know, something about it. I was using other primers. There was a primer from my previous project pan that I'm this close to finishing. So I think I just was really pushing to finish that one. It's not even in my project pan, but I just wanted to finish it. So we will use this one. We will. A couple foundations. The first one is from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I have mine in the color 3. This is in my project pan because I've used it a lot. It should be done. It's not. It's still going. Now with this product, I already know I most likely would not rebuy it just because it's on the thicker side. So I always kind of end up adding in some sort of like illuminator product to kind of soften it up because it's very thick, and if I don't add anything in with the foundation, it just sits on top of my face. which I don't love. So it's a little bit heavy for what I like. It's a good foundation if you're looking for coverage, but it's another one that I just want to finish, get my money's worth. And I actually used this one a total of 8 times in July. The other foundation is the one that I'm testing to really get the feel for, and that's the Makeup by Mario one. This is the Surreal Skin Foundation in 2N, and I used this a total of 7 times in July, and I can actually say that I actually really like it. Yeah, at first I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't like the concealer that came out around the same time as this one. The concealer did not work for me, but this is really nice. It's a little more hydrating. It's got good coverage, but it's a really pretty finish, and a little bit goes a long way. Same with the Hourglass. Honestly, you just need 1 pump of these products. It's a little bit light, so I've been kind of mixing in some bronzing drops with this one. I've been using the ones from Kaleidos a lot because I like those. But so far, I've really been liking this foundation. We only have one real concealer in this project pan, and that's from Bobbi Brown. This is the Skin Full Cover Concealer in the color Ivory. You can see that that is almost done, right? I can feel it. It's so close. I used this 14 times in July. We're trying to finish it. This is actually one of my favorite concealers. It does an amazing job. So good. It has great coverage without making your under eyes look cakey. It's just a really good concealer, and I'm surprised more people don't talk about it because I love it. So that was the only real concealer, but I do have a corrector in here. So this is from Givenchy. This is the Prism Libra Skin Caring Corrector, obviously in the color green. This is, oh, and a hair. This is supposed to counteract kind of the dark circles. And I'm still trying it out. I used it a total of 5 times, and I can honestly say, I honestly don't know yet how I feel about it. It is interesting. I put it on my face. It dries down fast, which I think is a good thing, because if I go into it when it's too wet, it disappears. So I'm not entirely sure I'm using this right. We're still continuing to use it to test it out. Correctors are just one of those things that I just need more practice, and we're practicing with the Givenchy, so can't go wrong there, right? NARS makes some great products. This is the translucent setting powder in Crystal. It looks like this. This is in my product pan because I honestly just wasn't entirely sure how I felt about it, and I'm just kind of meh about it now that I've used it. I used it 7 times in July, and I saw a difference when I used it. It is mattifying, but the thing that was a little bit disappointing is when you swatch it, it's got a good amount of, like, a little bit of shimmer in there, you know? Like, it doesn't look just flat white. It looks like it's got a little bit of luminescence, and I don't get that on my skin. So I don't actually love this powder. I have plenty of powders that do what it does, which is just, you know, sets and mattes a little bit. But I wanted that just like little bit of like sheen to my face. I like a little bit of a glowy face, and I wasn't getting that. I did not get that. So I actually am gonna use my get out of jail free card on this. So what the get out of jail free card is, I have the option for each month 1 time to use it. And I can basically switch out any product that I've decided I either love too much, I don't need it in here anymore, there's no point, I'm not gonna finish it, or I know that I don't love it and we can move on and test something else. This one falls into the second category. I just don't love it. I now know how I feel about it. It's fine, but it's just not what I love in a setting powder. So we are taking this one out, switching in another product. The product that we're actually switching in is from Burberry, and this is the Beyond Wear Setting and Refining Powder in the color Fair. Now, it looks like this, and this is going in because A, it is real expensive, and B, I really have no idea how I feel about it. I find myself swatching it and just being like, okay, not really coming away with any sort of comprehensive idea of what it does, if it's effective, if I like it, if it has a place in my collection. So Burberry is going in. We do have another setting powder in here though, and that is another product from Givenchy actually. This is the Prism Libre Travel Setting Powder in Mousseline Pastel. It's the purple one. As you can see, there is a dip in there. This is their little travel one they came out with. It comes with a little poof, which I do not use because I'm still not entirely sure how sanitary that poof is. I typically take the whole top off and I'll go in with my little poof. I'll go in. It's a fantastic setting powder. I am really into purples too, and it does the job. It like definitely helps your makeup stay throughout the day. It mattifies really well around my T-zone, which is where I typically like setting powder. It's just really nice. It's really nice. And this one I actually used 13 times in July. We have bronzers. The first one is the one I'm trying to finish. This is from Rare Beauty and it is in the color Power Boost. This one is just a little bit too warm for my liking. I have a couple other colors in this. I love this stick, okay? It's so easy to use and apply and blend out. I love it. This is just not my favorite color. And I actually checked to see how much was left. This is how much that's left. I can finish this. This is actually a product I think I can finish. I used this 6 times in July, so we need to go a little bit harder with this. We need a dent, okay? I want to see a dent in this. I also have the Nabla bronzer in the color Ambra. This is the Skin Bronzing Sun-Kissed Effect Bronzing Powder. I put this in here because I honestly thought I was going to declutter it during my spring declutters, and then I used it and I really liked it. But the reason why I thought I was going to declutter it in the first place, it's very warm. It's very warm, and I typically like a more cool toned, neutral toned bronzer. And this one is much warmer than what I normally go for, but I really liked it. I thought it looked great during the summer, and since we're in the summer, I've been enjoying it, so we're keeping it. And this is where I think I went right. I only picked one blush. I didn't use it a lot, but I typically tend to do the worst in this category because I have so many blushes. It is the year of the blush, so it's hard for me to just focus on one blush. So I only used it twice, but still, this is from Chantecaille. This is the Emotion blush in B. Now, it's very tiny. And as you can see by the imprint, there's a little bee on there. Now the bee used to be covered in a gold overlay. That was so pretty. I wish the entire bee, just the whole thing was gold, so that when you got the color, you got some shimmer too. Now this is a little bit of a luminescent blush, and it is the most natural pink. It's gorgeous, okay? It is a fantastic blush. It almost makes me want to get more from Chantecaille, but that is not the point of a project pan, okay? We're using what we have. This is an expensive blush. I don't remember how much it is, but it is ridiculous. Chantecaille is a very expensive brand. So I'm glad that I'm getting some use out of it and really rediscovering that it is the prettiest color. So glad I'm using this. We have one highlighter that is from M Cosmetics. This is their Moonbeam highlighter in Aura, and it is actually a little cushion highlighter, and I'm trying to finish it, and I thought I was close, but earlier today I squished down really hard. I was curious. I got quite a bit of product, so it's still going. It's really pretty, but this is another product where I'm like, how sanitary is it? I don't know. I like reusing like that same cushion. Like I've been using the little poof that it comes with, which is probably not the best poof, to be honest, but I've been using it, and it's a really pretty highlighter. It's really finely milled. Well, it's not finely milled, it's not powder. It's just like a sheen of brightness on your cheek. It's like very luminescent, very pretty without having large chunks of sparkle, which I don't like. I'm not a big fan of chunky highlighter, which this is not. This is a beautiful formula. It's kind of disappointing because out of all the highlighters in this little cushion that they have, I think this is the only color that'll work for me. So maybe they'll come out with more one day. That would be nice. Oh, and I used that one 3 times. Now, onto the palette of the month. So the face palette that I chose for July is from Moira, and this is Life's a Picnic, and I used this 10 times. And this was in my project pan because I had used it maybe once, and I could not tell you how I felt about it. I had used it probably forever ago, and it just looked so pretty that I was really reluctant to just declutter it without trying it, and I'm glad I held on to it. Now, I will say the bronzers and the more contour shade, they're good. And like nothing really special, but they're good. The Tea Party shade is so pretty. It's so pretty. It's like this shimmery, like rose blush. It's just, look at that. Like it looks dark in the pan and it's not. It's really nice. And then the Feelings color, okay, it's another stunner. It's so pretty. So I'm glad that I used this palette. I am. I'm going to keep it around for a while. You know, I really didn't use Basket. That was not a color that I could figure out how to use. And I didn't like Lakeside, so I did not like the highlighter. This is an example of having that chunky shimmer. Not really a big fan, but these colors, oh, so pretty. I need to depot those because I just want to keep those. Those are worth it. The eyeshadow palette of the month that I chose was from ColourPop, and that was Stone Cold Fox. And I used this a total of 7 times this month. And it is just their neutral palette, but I thought I'd be able to hit pan on one of these colors. I didn't, I got close. But it's just a fantastic palette, and this was just in there because I missed using it. That was really it. I wanted to hit pan on Quarry Days, but I didn't get there. I was so close. I was so close. I'm still gonna be using it, so we're gonna hit pan at some point, but this is moving out of my project pan. So both of these are moving out. After this next product, I'll show you what is moving in. The last product in my project pan is an interesting choice, but I actually chose a eyebrow pencil. This is another product from Rare Beauty, and this is their Brow Harmony Precision Pencil in the color Rich Taupe. I chose it because it's not my favorite color. It is a very warm taupe, and I don't love it, and if I go in too heavy, my eyebrows look red. It's not great. And I've had people call me out on it. Like my best friend was like, why do your eyebrows look so red? What'd you do? I was like, I used the Rare Beauty eye pencil. It's in taupe. Taupe is not supposed to be warm. I've never seen a warm taupe. I don't like it. It's not my favorite. I thought I would be closer to finishing this. I used this 21 times. This was like my go-to pencil, but look how much is left. I think that's it. Now, I typically go through about 3 eyebrow pencils every 6 months. I don't know, man. I don't know with this one. It's like thicker. I think that's why it's sticking around longer, because I used it a bunch before it entered my project pan. So this wasn't like the first time I'm using it. It has a lot left. It's got a lot of life to give. So if you are looking for an eyebrow pencil with longevity, as in the pencil itself lasts a while, this is a good one. I just don't love the color, just disappointing. And I don't really love how fat the tip is. I like really thin, fine tips. And it just wasn't my favorite, but it's in here. I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna get my money's worth. So the total amount of usage I had in the month of July from the items that are in my project pan is actually one of the best months I've ever had in a project pan, and that was 124 times. So I really used quite a bit of these items, and I was pretty proud of myself. But let me show you what we're switching in since we're switching those 2 palettes out. For eyeshadows, what I decided to pick, this actually you probably just saw. If you watched my best eyeshadow palettes for summer, which I will link up here if you want to take a look, I included this one because, oh, cat hair, because I just thought it gave me summer vibes and it was a little bit different. It wasn't just bright colors, but this is from Kaleidos. This is the Flower Punk palette. I have it on my eyes right now. It is on its last legs, I think. I was using Aloe Cove today. This one is broken a few times and I don't love this packaging. It just causes me to drop it. I blame the packaging, I don't blame myself. But this color is definitely broken a few times and I used it today and I can feel that it has gotten quite a bit drier, and I don't know if that's because it's getting older or simply because I dropped it and had to press it back too many times. But I need to use all the other colors as well. I just wanted something a little bit different, something that like I just haven't used a lot, but that gives me summer vibes, you know? And this one just called to me. I was like, I want to use more of this one. I want to get more comfortable using yellows. There's quite a few yellows in here that I don't really touch. And they're kind of grungy yellows, so I kind of am feeling those colors. And I don't know if this is gonna last much longer, so I want to use it while I can before it just goes off, because this is an older palette, and I can, again, already feel that the eyeshadow is not performing to the same level that it used to. So it's gonna get a lot of use this month. Now, I actually chose two face palettes, and you will see why. You will see why. The first one is from Stila, and this is the Twin Cheeks in Kitten and Bronzer Duo. And it's basically just a bronzer and highlighter, giant pans in there. And I don't know how I feel about it. I can tell that I've used it, and I know I like Stila's Kitten bronzer, but it's been a minute. I don't even remember when I bought this. This has been in my collection. It has been neglected. No more. It is now in my project pan. Other one I picked, you're gonna have to excuse the dirty packaging. This is another scenario where it's the packaging and not me. But this is from Patrick Ta, and this is his face palette. This is the Major Headlines Blush Palette Volume 2. And I know I have used some of the colors, but I have not used all of them. And I can safely say this color in the end is nothing. It's nothing. I think it's terrible. And I just swatched it today, so I guess I shouldn't say that. But I swatched it and I was like, what is this? What is it? I just really don't like formulas that are like Vaseline that never dry down. Pretty sure that's what this is. But I can't say that with any sort of certainty. So we're trying this out, okay? We're bringing this out of the dark. We're seeing if it needs to stay in my collection or if it maybe does not have a place in my collection. Now, Patrick Ta came out with these new highlighters. I'm pretty sure they're in this similar formula as this. I don't think this palette was a hit when it came out. He came out with two face palettes. The first one people loved. This one I don't think people loved. But we need to verify that. We really do. So those are the two face palettes that are entering into my project pan just for the month of August. Then they will exit, and hopefully we will have a good idea of what we think about them by then. Now, I feel really happy after this first month of usage with my project pan, but I noticed something, and that is that I tend to reach for the products that I want to pan because the majority of them I really like versus the ones I'm testing out. So I really want to focus this month on the ones that I'm testing and use those more, even though I do want to pan products like this one. I need to use the Moira Balm too. You know, I can't just use Dior. I'm not that bougie. Maybe I am. I wish I am. I don't know if I am, but I can't just use that one. I really need to focus on a lot of the items that I really want to understand. I want to know how I feel about them so that I can really talk to them, you know? Well, talk about them. Talk to the product, not actually talk to you about the product. That is what I really want to focus on in August. But overall, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made so far. And I've been really diligent this month using all these products, and that was really exciting. I think this was a really good start, and I'm excited to update you every month and let you know how it's going and how many times I've used everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're doing your own project pan, let me know how it's going down below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.